Good morning, happy Monday and welcome to another YouTube video. I know you guys always absolutely love these videos, so today is going to be a what I eat in a day. It is my busiest day of working, so this is a Monday as I'm filming this. Monday is my check-in days, or when I have most of my client check-ins. I also do some check-ins on Tuesday as well, just to kind of spread things out, but Monday is my most intensive check-in day. I also have a training session to tick off and I have a dance class at 6:30, so it means that my working day has to finish on time at 6 p.m. So I thought I would share what I eat with you on a day that is particularly busy, how I make sure I hit my protein, hit my fibre, hit my calories, but equally enjoying a little bit of a balance, which is very much how my day is starting. So I've literally just sat down at my desk. I've done about an hour of work and some steps at the same time, which is always how I start my day every single day. I've taken my supplements and I've drunk about a litre of water, which again is a non-negotiable for me, literally regardless of whether it's a Sunday, a Monday, a Wednesday, Friday, whatever day, they are my absolute non-negotiables to set me up for a really solid day. I've now sat down at my desk to start my first block of check-ins. I've got a coaching call as well with my coach in about an hour, so I'm going to bash through a few check-ins to start off with, and to keep me going until I have my breakfast after the coaching call, I have got a mocha, which I feel like is a bit of a new discovery for me. I think I may have been living under a rock, but when we moved back in April last year, so April 2025, I finally bought a coffee machine. Not that I'm a massive coffee person anyway. I actually went through a stage of like just not drinking coffee because I didn't really fancy it, and I switched over to matcha. I'm now kind of back on the coffee train, I think, when it's kind of cold and dark and grey and miserable outside. But something maybe a few weeks ago compelled me to add hot chocolate powder to my double espresso when I brewed it. And I was like, where has this been my whole life? I did send a voice note to my friends. I think they were a little bit like, Georgia, you are living under a rock. So anyway, I've got a mocha, decaf mocha for that matter, and it's with coconut milk as always. So basically what would be my normal morning coffee, but just with some hot chocolate powder added, because I do have a good amount of calories to work with at the moment. I should probably mention, for those who maybe don't follow me on Instagram or are like new to my page, I am currently eating at maintenance calories. So my goal is maintaining my physique, just balancing life, becoming as strong as possible in preparation for my next Hyrox prep, which I go into probably within the next month basically. So the goal is to keep my calories nice and high, maintain physique, and focus, as I said, on building that strength, injury prevention, and all of that good stuff. So I do have a good amount of calories to play with. That being said, as I always say to clients, it's very easy to get complacent when you're either at maintenance or in a building phase that, oh, I have loads of calories so I can eat a load of rubbish, because you have room to fit in the cakes or, you know, the cocktails or the meals out or whatever it is. And that's very much not the case with how I eat. Like I say, I've got a mocha now, but the rest of my day is very much whole foods focused, home cooked meals, but obviously I'll run you through everything as we go throughout the day. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy my mocha and get on with my check-ins, and I will see you guys in a little while for my breakfast. Okay, it is breakfast time and I have exactly 19 minutes until I need to get back to work in order to make sure I get to the gym on time and get through this next block of check-ins. So normally I actually have oats from day to day because they're super easy for me to prep, but today I'm actually going to have eggs on toast, equally as quick and easy to prep, because for me, when it is a busy day and I am sort of in between work bits and bobs, I don't need to be spending, and I don't have the time to be spending, you know, an hour, half an hour prepping something. So sourdough is going into the toaster. I'm going to fry up 3 eggs, mash some avocado, and literally pop it all together. This is my breakfast. Piece of sourdough. I use the Jason sourdough and it's huge for one slice, so I just split it in two, popped it in the toaster, avocado on the toast, and a little bit of butter. Once the toast is done, eggs, just cooked 3 eggs together in a small frying pan. I must admit my Friday game is very strong these days. Seasoned with salt, pepper, chili flakes, and a little bit of hot honey. So I'm gonna go eat this. This is my first meal of the day and I can't lie, I am starving. I was gonna say next meal, but I don't really count this as a meal, but I'm about to go to the gym. It is, I guess, what you'd call my lunch break, even though it's kind of just after lunch. But I am actually going to go and do some cardio today because my recovery hasn't been the best recently. I'm rehearsing for something really cool that I have never done before, that's happening at the beginning of February, so it's meant that I am dancing a little bit more than usual, and my body is just feeling quite tired, quite fatigued, very sore. And today, obviously being a Monday, would be like my first training session of the week, and I haven't had a rest day since Wednesday last week. So I think what I'm going to do today, because my body is not feeling 100%, is go and do some cardio. So I'm just putting some electrolytes in my water bottle. I'm going to sip on these while I do 40 minutes on the Stairmaster, and then probably just some mobility work. These are the tropical flavour, and they are absolutely delicious. They literally feel like I am drinking a cocktail on the Stairmaster. When you know what it's like to spend 40 minutes on the Stairmaster, you take all that you can get. So yeah, just mixing this with some water. And fun fact about me, I actually hate tap water. So yeah, we'll always have filtered water, just because I absolutely hate the taste of tap water and the thought of everything that's in it. So yeah, that is another ½ litre of water. I potentially will also fill my water bottle up again at the gym, depending on how thirsty that I feel. But I am 2 litres down, so halfway through my water total, which is perfect for where I am kind of like within my day. So I'm gonna go to the gym, do my cardio, have my electrolytes, and then when I come home, it will be time for my lunch, which as always is prepped in advance just to save the most amount of time. I think I'd be lying if I said this wasn't one of my most eagerly anticipated meals of the day. I'm back from the gym, Stairmaster's done, mobility work is done, I've had a shower, we're in a new gym outfit ready for dance later. And this week for my meal prep, I have got spaghetti bolognese, which, without sounding dramatic, I think would probably be my death row meal. So the fact that I get to eat this every single day for lunch is just amazing. And actually, I was having a really interesting conversation with a client this morning about her meals for the week, and she said a big thing that she struggles with is decision fatigue in knowing what to have, and she only gets a very short lunch break in order to kind of like prepare anything when she's working from home. So we talked about getting some stuff prepped in advance, so she's got a couple of options. She's someone who likes a lot of variety in her diet. I completely understand that a lot of people don't want to eat the same thing from a Tupperware every single day. I personally don't care, but this particular client enjoys having some variety within her diet, and knowing that she can have something different if she wants to. So we discussed the option of prepping ingredients rather than an entire meal. And what this is going to do is mean that from day to day, she's got options prepped, so she doesn't have as much to decide from, but equally, she can put things together and have variety. So she knows she's got some protein prepped, she knows she's got some veggies prepped, she knows she's got some carbs prepped, and she just needs to put some things together, whack it in the microwave. It saves her so much time and it takes away that decision fatigue, but it still gives her variety as well. So as much as I love meal prep and I'm quite happy to eat the same thing, if you're someone who likes variety but is tight on time, that's something that will probably help you a lot. So I've just added some extra seasoning to this, literally just salt and pepper. I'm going to put this in the microwave, reheat it, and grate some cheese to put on the top. Please excuse the noise of the microwave in the background, but one thing that I also always do while my lunch is heating up is quickly run around and tidy up any random bits and bobs. I'm someone who loves a tidy home, and when my home is not tidy, I feel quite stressed and quite overwhelmed. So for example, there was a couple of bits of washing up that I had washed up earlier from my breakfast, like the pan, the milk frother from my mocha earlier. Put those away, chuck some bits in the dishwasher. Little things like that I find really help just with regards to keeping on top of day-to-day stuff. Sometimes it's putting away washing, hanging out the washing if I've just done a wash, just anything to kind of keep my environment tidy. If I have a spare few minutes while something's in the microwave, then I always make sure that I utilise it. And that is lunch heated up, cheese added. I'm gonna eat this and then back to work. And we are back in my office for the next meal of the day. This is a yogurt bowl, granola, strawberries and some honey. Nice and simple. This is actually the first, well, apart from my mocha this morning, the first sweet food I've had all day, which is crazy because I was reflecting as I was making this, and I've always labelled myself as someone who has a massive sweet tooth, and I very much do. I will always pick sweet over savoury, but I genuinely feel like I'm now in a place with my diet where I don't feel the need to eat things like chocolate all the time. They naturally feature in my day because I quite often will have a bowl of oats with dark chocolate on top, or my granola has chocolate in, but I don't feel the need to eat a bar of chocolate, for example, or a share bag of chocolate buttons. And that is because I've built a diet where I don't feel restricted. I eat what I want and things that I enjoy every single day, and I feel really good because of it. And it's honestly such a nice place to be in. So I was just reflecting actually as I was making that. But I'm gonna go and eat this yogurt bowl, and in a little bit, once I finish my work, I'm actually gonna prep my dinner early. So I'm not gonna eat my dinner until much later, but I get back from dance about 8 and it just saves me time not having to then cook and get into bed on stupidly full stomach. So I'll see you guys in the kitchen in a little bit and we'll prep some dinner. So dinner tonight is going to be a really nice, simple one. I quite often eat meals like this on a Monday just because I need something that's quick to prep around, obviously finishing work and getting out the house on time to go to dance. So this is quick teriyaki beef noodles. This is a HelloFresh meal and it's one of their like one pan, actually no, tell a lie, 2 pans because I have to boil the noodles separately, but really simple, basically just chuck it all in, high in protein, fits into my calories, actually tastes decent. And this is why I do something like HelloFresh, because like what I was saying earlier with decision fatigue around food with my client that I was having the conversation with, I have this around deciding what to cook for dinner, because for me dinner is something that I like to have something a little bit different. I find it's like my more exciting meal of the day and something that I like to look forward to at the end of a busy working day. And I'd find I'd sit there for so long trying to think of what to cook, and then the admin of then putting that into a shopping list, buying the ingredients, deciding how to cook it, how to season it, how to make it taste good, tracking it, it was just too much. And I can honestly say having everything sorted for me is a game changer. So I'm gonna make that. And I've also got a spare pepper left over from the weekend, so I'm going to chuck that in for some extra veg, and I will come back and show you when I have got the finished product. And we are done. That literally took me like 20-25 minutes. We've got tonight's meal, and then I'm actually the only one here for the next couple of days, so I also have leftovers for dinner tomorrow, which means I do not have to cook tomorrow, which I will be honest is an absolute saving grace. So I am going to go off to dance now. I've drunk 3.5 litres of water, so I'll finish off my last half litre over the next couple of hours and come home and eat my dinner. I will say I feel like this has been a particularly good day of eating, so I hope you guys have found this helpful and something to take for some meal ideas and some inspiration. If you want more information on my one-to-one coaching, I'll put the link for applications down below. If you're successful, I'll drop you a message and we can chat a little bit more about how I work and the specific goals that you're looking to work towards. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.